very much, Rebecca. Thanks to all of you for inviting us to come, and thanks for the adjustment of the microphone. We're very pleased to be here tonight. In the year 2002, Roy Romano had a royal commission to study the state of medical care in Canada. In part of that response, he said that mental health is the orphan child of the healthcare system. And that's still true. And we've wondered why. So many people are affected. You all know somebody who has some kind of mental illness, whether it be anxiety, depression, eating disorder, and particularly for us, schizophrenia. These are very difficult diseases, and why they are not appropriately financed is beyond me. Anyway, I think that part of the reason why it isn't is because of the stigma that there is with mental illness. When a person is diagnosed with a mental illness, they're terrified. Their whole future has been ripped apart. They don't know where they're going to go. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know if they're ever going to have a marital partner. They don't know what life is going to hold. When a family is affected, the same thoughts occur, but there's one additional one. And that is this our fault? Did we do something wrong as parents? These are very, very frightening kinds of ideas. Why do these occur? It's because there's this huge stigma against mental illness. Nobody wants to talk about it. The kids that have it don't want to talk about it. They don't want their friends to know. Will they be able to get a job? The families that get it, are we going to tell our friends? Will they still be our friends? These are very difficult times and very difficult things to deal with. When our daughter was diagnosed about 20 years ago, she was devastated. But she wasn't one to run away and hide. She said, no, we're going to take this on. So she joined the Schizophrenia Society Partnership Program. And what happens is this. In a 1-hour period, a kid that has the illness, I call them kids still because they're all younger than I am, talks for about 12 minutes about what schizophrenia has done to their lives. Then a family member, it could be a sister, it could be a mom, it could be an uncle, talks for about 12 minutes about how schizophrenia has affected the life of the family. And then, if we can get them, a health professional talks for about 12, 15 minutes about what is it, what causes it, who gets it, what are the symptoms, what can we do about it, how is it treated, and then finally, what can you do when you know of somebody who has a serious mental illness. These presentations are extremely powerful. We go into a classroom and Greg gets up and he says, my name is Greg, I have cancer, I have schizophrenia, and this is how it has affected my life. You can hear a pin drop. Then the family member continues, and again, you can hear a pin drop. And then guys like me get up and we give them the technical stuff. What is it, where did it come from, how is it dealt with? There are two things that happen with these partnership presentations. The first is with the audience. They get a whole new perspective of what mental illness is. The second thing they learn is that it's very common. I often ask them to raise their hands if they know somebody who has a serious mental disorder. And almost always, most of the hands go up. Sometimes 80%, sometimes 100%. If I asked you here, you would all know somebody that has a serious mental disorder. That's the first thing that we try to do, is let kids know how common these are and that they're not alone when they're dealing with this. The presentations work really, really well. We try to do every high school in Saskatoon. And the kids, we get an evaluation form afterwards, and they write down how much their attitudes have been changed. It's a spectacular program to reduce stigma and to increase the amount that we talk about these very serious issues. Thank you very much for inviting us to come. I'm going to ask two things of you. The first, obviously, vote for us. But the second is, if you belong to an organization that could learn about this, invite the partnership program to your organization. We have some pamphlets here and Curtis's phone number, and he'd be delighted to set you up with a presentation. You will come away changed. Thank you.